All right, there we go. All right, hello everybody. My name is Morgenrede. This is Media Agnostic Doom Journaling. This is an open mic every week, every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Zoom. This is a open mic for poets, novelists, fiction writers, nonfiction writers, musicians, whatever, any writers, performers, creatives. If you have a VR poem that is on a house, fuck it. We love that kind of shit. We enjoy
Yeah.
any kind of creativity, any kind of insanity, any kind of things that are of doom, anything that is media agnostic, whether it's online, real life, whatever. So yeah, tonight we've got a really awesome lineup of people that is spur of the moment, but nonetheless, full. It's going to pack plenty of punches. Starting off the night, it's a really awesome poet that's been getting a lot of great pieces published lately, and I'm very excited for what's going to be published next for them. But it is J.L. Moultrie.
Thank you so much, Morgan Reed. Appreciate the introduction and everything. Hold on. Going to be reading four pieces. This first one is called Notes on Free Will. Hold on, let me get this together. Uh, my choices made me who I am. I could have been the son of Sam. I could have been a violent man. The image of my father returning from jail hangs in my mind like a dusty painting. I wanted to stay the same, but the colors keep changing. My mother and I share a thirst for self-annihilation. The image of her face kept my ceiling from becoming sanguine. I met him at the front door and wrapped my arms around his waist. I've yet to reach the age when I can be confined for my mistakes. My maternal grandmother was like the Gordian knot. She'd heat knives on the stove instead of pots. We went for ice cream in the Arab neighborhood. Their mosque recited prayers through a loudspeaker. It even reached our neck of the woods. My brother gave me a loaded revolver for safekeeping. I'd not made him aware of my suicidal thinking. Dad abstained from drink and curse words. My paternal grandfather would fly into alcoholic rages whenever his temper stirred. I remain wholly capable of anything. The overwhelming proof is embedded in my genes. This next one is titled Windows. Uh, my temples cracked and sinks interminably. The only sight visible from my cell are the lilting waves. My jailer smokes in driving rain under slouching eaves. He has many keys, and I can't predict his movements. He's much like me, a captive out of sorts, stuck with bare essentials. I cling to his footsteps like a small child. My mind, stripped to its bare rudiments, reveals itself to be a glowing forge. You, dear reader, remain my only conduit. I no longer speak, but gaze at opiate torchlights until taken away by sleep. I hear I hear guttural sobs as I pine to be carried away by windswept leaves. I was expelled from above at Adam's creation. My brethren and I refuse to prostrate before a being made of clay. Don't ask me to return whence I came. My fate's firmly out of hand. His voice signaled my sudden descent. Gaseous nebula, mountainous terrain, and water bodies that make up so much of Earth saturated my vision. His command rendered me a prisoner of my ripened conceit. I often study the sea and ponder, was our protest justified? This one is called MDNA. Coiled silver like serpents amid endless rooms. Nights like these regress into blur. Your eyes settled like salt. All I infer recalls imbalance. Cast in blue effigy. Voyages from former blight between dense foliage. Toiled for days with no cleansing. Don't bury me in eulogy. I know our earth too well. Buckets quell generous fires. My thoughts are sober like the town crier. Your words inspire blushes to this day. Did I penetrate your heart? Your answer came prior to us meeting. The vibratory levels raised in case we find one another in future lives. And this last one is called Candles. The farine masses beneath your skin endured spring's captivity just to be situated on a North Carolina highway in slanted rain. When you left the convent, the abbess you'd studied with hoped your vanity would snap under the weight of societal and internal pressures. You soon absconded to the States. Phenomenal activity came and went, yet the feeling behind your eyes persisted like a fresh laceration. Your passport photo was a snapshot of contrast and lost inhibitions. The rhythms of the songs being played in your vehicle lurched like the damp bodies of new lovers. You noted that, unlike in northern states, commuters drifted ever so slightly away from those exposed to the elements. You knocked on the wooden door and descended several flights of stairs. The guitarist was tall and gossamer. The drum kit was placed behind center stage. The bassist wore a steady diet of nothing era fugazi shirt. His pecan skin morphed under firelight like octopus chromatophores. A circle pit soon materialized. Endorphins inundated your nervous system like a flooded ravine. You splashed icy water on your face in the deserted restroom. You noticed one of your nails had broken. Death was not an arbitrary feature of space and time, but the penultimate stage toward liberation. Thank you, Morgenrede. Appreciate you guys.
Damn, you
Thank you.
got me chewing on a Twizzler here. Excellent, excellent. I love how Bizarre points out the flow of these poems just get better and better from going from the third poem. Was it titled MDMA? Like the drug?
MD, DNA,
Oh, M.
mitochondria. Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay.
But it's intentional to that ambiguity.
Yeah. I think initially the first poem, Free Will, that idea of like family kind of passing down not only genes, because like in my gene pool, addiction is rampant, but also like, patterns of behavior and expectations and the pressure of extending the family and how that, can either give you anxiety or, inspire creativity or violence, with like people giving each other guns. Like I was never really into guns, but my grandfather collected guns for a long time. He was a big World War II guy. Um, but yeah, definitely got the addiction part of that gene pool, and so I had to kind of look at myself at one point and be like, okay, I'm not gonna be like my uncle that got arrested and had to get my grandfather to bail him out of jail. Like I'm not trying to have that shit go down. Um, and then going to Wilt the second poem with just some really great. I mean, this is really where you have these like great, the this relationship between the prisoner and the captive officer or the prison guard with, I don't know, like creation and confinement is where I was kind of getting at with that poem, and there's like this kind of unique relationship there that you were playing with. But I'm curious about Candles, the last poem. There was a lot of great quotes and phrases and references with like Fugazi and like the octopus chromatophores. Like I'm curious about where your head was at with that last poem.
Oh, let me think.
I know it's
I
tough,
was,
to go over some
yeah,
words, but
yeah. Thank you, man, for the kind words. Um, yeah. I just go back to I was speaking with one of my former mentors. He taught me in community college, some literature classes, and he said everything is poetry. So I just try to just go with that, and um, it's always spontaneous and it's just crazy. I don't know where it comes from. I just feel like like it just takes hold of you.
yeah, no, I totally get you. We were just talking, the poetry of the spontaneous, especially at certain points in your life where, at least for me, I can really see there's like a beauty in the synchronicity of things that totally shouldn't make sense. But when I started to really kind of rethink the way that I was understanding events in my life, why they were happening, whether they were good, bad, self-inflicted, or things that I was trying to do to help my life, I felt that there was some kind of importance, and not only, an importance, but there was something poetic about it, something that not only said something about me, but said something about the way that I understand the world. And so you look at that relationship, and you can really, I mean, the creativity is just endless when you really tap into that. Yeah, it's something that I was having a conversation with a friend that people that don't like poetry, they just don't understand when you use language to describe these spontaneous moments that you really have this pining for. It's so hard to describe, which is why you just use poetry. And if you don't get it, then it's kind of you can't. There's no other way to really get it. Like people just won't relate.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's I still don't understand it. Like sort of like you, I grew up, didn't know what I wanted to do, it's directionless. Got a GED and just started writing one day, journaling and writing fragments and that's kind of I still handwrite everything. So it's
Oh, damn.
really a
Okay.
part of my process. Writing a
Yeah.
pencil. So I got notebooks all through here.
Yeah,
And
we were talking last open mic. Lisa Marie has been recently handwriting a bunch of their work. I think somebody else was handwriting stuff, but I know that Lisa Marie was. And for me, the last time I was handwriting my work was when I was writing in a journal in college. I'd get a cup of whiskey and I would write like this woman broke my heart. It was like so country music bullshit. It was so like I look back at it now and I'm like, wow, I was sad and I needed to not. I'm like, I'm glad I wrote it out there and didn't like post it on the internet. Like, it probably saved me a bunch of drama. But man, handwriting, I
yeah,
cannot. I don't know. That's a tough thing for me to do right now, just because I'm so what you would call it with my phone. It's
right, these phones, man.
dude, yeah, it's fucking tough
It's
My
like when
ring
I try.
finger callus came back
from writing.
from writing. I haven't had it since high school, which was over 20 years ago.
Damn. Over here, bizarre, talking about the iconic country artist Morgenrede. No. Oh my God. Well, JL Moultrie, again, thank you for reading these pieces. Some great pieces of conversation, contents, themes, imagery. Yeah, seriously, thank you for starting off the night. Love starting off with some good poetry. Okay, so I'm adding Omar, I'm adding you to the reading list. I got your text. Thank you for not calling me because I've had people call me while I'm doing this. But yeah, hell yeah, got you on the list. Up next, the homie's got a book with Pig Rose Publishing, Kill Rudy Johnson. Uh, Without further ado, it's Rudy Johnson.
Hey, so I got a couple poems here. The one start out with Zach Smith published it in his thing, his Christmas thing or whatever. Anybody here like Lord of the Rings? Dude, that's a joke. Yeah. All right, so this one's called Denethor the Grinch. The old tree was still there, busted as fuck. Walls too, rod too, Denethor too. Fuck, everyone was busted. Anywho, they went to that mountain high, peaks decked with the philologist's ornaments, and brought back another tree, likely covered in snow that didn't melt or some shit. Symbolic mistletoe to validate miscegenation. Meanwhile, in my house, a broken fucking dome. Rain, rain, and the withered old tree nearby rains a little bit more. Christ. That's Denethor the Grinch. The next one here is not a Lord of the Rings one. Some other stupid shit I made. Um, this one's called Rat Adjacent. It's not about rats, I promise. Maybe it is. Rat Adjacent. I am rat adjacent. I am mated to a hobby for life and should probably, as the British say, leave her rat adjacent. I am less wrong to hoard human remains than animal ones in the eyes of a detective named Rizzo, rat adjacent. I am on Board Game Geek arguing about directions. Can the Rodent King attack the tile to the northeast? If the Rodent King can attack things that are, well, rat adjacent. And I know these are the days of Karthus in the jungle. This is the lost missing call. The angry tween who follows you to PMs. The angry tween in us all. The way we look to the tribunal for justice twitches striking in the overlaid UI. These are the days of Briar crushing Steinbach, and don't cry, Pay Pig, don't cry, rat adjacent. I am developing my properties, gender, libido, temperament, boardwalk, based on environmental variables, key values, fluid, money, forex, hotel, motel, holiday inn, Cambodia, or wherever glitter falls, and a neural net trained on every erection I've ever had is forging the ultimate sex offender at the National Institute for Mental Health, rat adjacent. I am Exxon Valdezing my black heart to watch the hate coat seagull wings. Hose the seals off with Dow, you goods. Hose love the on-site disposal of dead aquatic life. Cleanup efforts laid waste by my bad, bad girlfriend singing, no one really knows. Mood, Hexus. Even the rescuers don't have a single frame of reference for my pornographic nihilism. Baloo dropping chemicals on the fire just to stop a total emo ecological tailspin. Just keep him away from Gadget, rat adjacent. I am a cosmic art show, and life is a painting, but a Hitler with no feeling, but a Hitler with go feeling. Start up my tism panzer instead of loving myself. Self-love is the arranged suitor my parents wanted for me. I'm a Disney princess with an eye on the hunk husk, whose name is loathing, whose ideation is death, who's swarthier, riskier, 6'6"ier, 6'7", rat adjacent. I am at 19 flailing, drow, my favorite enemy, paladin without a gun, not willing to travel, the semiotic opposite of a man. It was mostly odd things I did, with less flourish, rape, and joy than a certain Dolores. The large man look like heck, some retard said behind me, entering the hometown super duper as I exited college stage right, loose for super duper maneuvers. Wesley, come get me like Westmoreland got daddy. Orange agents, blue stocking pageants, beget red walls, rat adjacent. I am at 41 in my prime. My Metroid is a draining thing that induces a cannier, coonier me for others. Me massa, except when smashing or in the cutscenes where my blue bottom is fan service for creator. Mom says to be grateful for this suit. Mom says something about her other dead kid. Mom says very little out loud anymore. She died in 2012. It's my head saying this, mother brain. With bad wiring, mice tearing it apart, mice from Redwall striking weasels with halberds, bodies sideways on battlements, Intartete Kunst, smooth jazz on my face, while brain is Kuwait 91, or two people know me well, red button me well, well. Oil wells blow up when affected by war. The sun also rises. Days of league, pure malice nights, night in the streets, night of the Ku Klux Klan in the sheets. Clan tags say Big Nick Diggers. We're just guys who dig Big Nick and graves for nigras. If you don't get the joke, join the guild. Warcraft is letting different people be bad each month while validating everyone. Everyone needs to know I am a recluse who loves games and hates gaming and nerd cultural. Peripheral me. With a Logitech G series nearby, desiccated food on my floor, I keep a mouse nearby. Fuck. That's that. That's it.
Damn, I was expecting that to go on, and I kept writing like, all right, so we've got 6-7 reference, Metroid Prime reference, Disney Princess reference, Kuwait 91 reference, we got fucking Warcraft, we got the KKK. I'm like, all right, Grudy's just
Check
gonna.
all the boxes where
Oh my God, dude, that shit was fucking awesome. Is that published anywhere?
No.
Oh man, I am so I whoever gets that piece, holy shit. That is just like I'm
Oh,
just
thanks, man.
always utterly impressed with how you are able to take, all of these different references and weaving them together. Like, cause some people weave poems together in like this nice little quilt or like this kind of like imagery like esque kind of sensible like thing, but you're just like two double middle fingers, fuck it. I'm just gonna reference everything that's in front of me that makes sense. And you just like not only add an amazing humor to it, but it just works in such a fun, absurd way. Like, fuck, dude, like only you can do that.
Thanks. That is, yeah, absurd is a good word for that one, I think.
And the fucking so I had to look it up, but yeah, there's like a comparison between what is it, Benethor and the Grinch? Like, what
Denethor, yeah.
the fuck?
So like that one, like at the end of Lord of the Rings and the Return of the King, they go and get some fucking tree or something so Aragorn can marry Arwen. And like he does it because he doesn't believe that he's like the king of Gondor yet until he gets this tree, the white tree of Gondor, until he restores it or some shit. And that's
Ah,
sort of what. And Denethor, like they put the old tree in the tomb of the kings or the tomb, which is near the tomb of the Stuarts, where Denethor killed himself. He set himself on fire and this shit. So that's what it's sort of
yeah, because there's
like
because yeah,
referencing.
that tree is what is it Mary? It's Pippin. Pippin sees it in his
Yep,
dream. He sees the white tree, but it's on fire, which is
yep.
alludes to that fucking tree. Okay. Yeah, that dude was like Man, what the fuck was he on, dude? He was like,
Dude, Denethor is like when I saw it was a Rankin Bass cartoon and I saw it as a kid and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Like he's like, and I like immediately identified with him because like the depression shit and stuff. It told that was kind of the I was like, oh, that's like depression, right? I mean, that's what that is, I guess.
yeah, like it's what happens when you're a king. You're an authority figure with no checks. You're just this king with
Yeah,
all the power in the world. Your son dies. Not only does your son die,
yeah.
he gets like arrows
He died
shot through his
dramatically,
body, and you don't get to see
right?
his dead
Yeah.
body either. Like they're just like, oh, we're just
No.
gonna send him over a waterfall, and then you're just
Yeah,
gonna
he
get
threw in a
murdered.
boat.
Yeah, yeah. Like they
Yeah,
didn't like do the thing where they like took the body to Gondor. Like, nah, they didn't have that fucking. They didn't.
yeah.
They could have got the
They didn't really
eagle.
give a fuck. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, why didn't they bring
No.
this guy his fucking dead kid's body? Like, what the fuck? So
No,
in a
Denethor
way,
was really, yeah. Like
because
when
like
I saw that, especially the Palantir stuff where he looks in and he sees it, and like it's not like because the Palantir shows you what like kind of a combination of what you want to see plus like but it's tainted or whatever, and
mm,
that like I was like, oh shit, yeah, I can see that, you can understand like that's depression, that's what it is.
and it's so tough to emotionally feel for him because the whole time the movie is
Mm.
telling you like this guy sucks. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
is just
crazy,
he's
he's fucking nut,
crazy. But like
yeah,
he
he's
does
decadent.
at a certain point, he just realizes like, oh fuck, what have I done? And then just he like one of the craziest deaths in Lord of the Rings, dude jumps off the edge of like God, he's like so fucking high up over this like little, I don't know, would you like a cliff, but it's like an artificial cliff, and he like I think just lands in the middle of battle.
Yeah, in the movie, it's pretty crazy the way he like dies. He sets himself on fire, then runs to the edge and
And
jumps
like
off.
you're
And like,
like
yeah,
me though, every time I watch that scene, I try to look at his flaming body falling down until it like pans away, and I'm like, ooh, fuck, he just landed. Like, oh my God, like, oh man. Okay, I could
yeah, no,
go,
it's pretty crazy scene.
dude, I could go on and on and on. Fucking
It,
amazing pieces. I love the absurdity and the way that you combine pop culture and all these different references. And dude, I'm so happy that Zach Smith included you in the holiday zine. That shit was fucking epic, dude.
yeah, I was happy to be in there. Yeah, but thanks for letting me shoot off here.
Dude, absolutely. Fucking anytime. I enjoyed it. Well done. Thank you, Rudy. Oh my gosh, I need to stop eating Twizzlers and candy. I'm getting too crazy sugar high. Anyways, again, everybody, just a reminder, we do this every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Media Agnostic Doom Journaling. I'm doing like the radio thing where like I have to remind everybody who I am. I'm Morgenrede, from Memphis, Tennessee. Uh, I have two cats. They're somewhere over here. I'm gonna go and oh, they're about to fight, so I'm gonna let them fight. Anyways, next up is a very talented individual who introduced me to VR creative poetry, which is cool as fuck. But yeah, Peter Webb.
Yeah,
Holy
I don't
shit.
have a VR poem right now. I do have one, but I don't want to like launch it. But I wanted to try a different one. Wasn't VR. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it. All right.
Let's see.
We gotta kill this motherfucker, jail, Philadelphia. It's all old vibes. We gotta kill this motherfucker, jail, cause God doesn't want me to have a dog for very long. My mutt is a fucking buddy. I gotta kill this motherfucker, cause my buddy is a mutt. And God doesn't want me to have this dog for very long. It's all old vibes. And what's the point of doing a reading if you can't fuck? Okay. We'll do that. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
Amazing. What the fuck is the point if you can't fuck?
You can't fuck.
Man,
All right.
so
All
fucking
right.
true.
Yeah, that's it for today. Okay.
Snaps. Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't need a lot, but you just have to get to the point. You got to hit the right notes, and man.
That one felt like a failure, actually, but that's okay.
No, it was not a fit. It was great. I thought
I try. No, I know. I've been in the game long enough to know. I know there's no failures at improv, but
exactly. It's
I'm
all improv. It's
yeah,
just yes and.
I know, but that's what we're trying. You know, to say more, maybe I can just talk about my process. I've been like switching up. I've got like a drumstick, and I was like, and I'm like, and like when new forms, you just sit and you hit your foot with the drumstick, and you're like, and that's gonna be the next part of the poem is doing it like this, and I'm excited about that aspect of my poetry. So that's what I wanted to share for media agnostic.
Damn, the process. More almost more important than the product, which
That's right.
it's different for everybody, like, me and Moultrie talked about how we would kind of get creative with our spontaneity. And then
Yeah.
so with this is just kind of a physical kind of like, the hand and the head with, the tools to try and like get that creativity out.
I think you know what? No, but it's hitting the drumstick against the bottom of the heel of my foot is the trick.
Uh,
That's like the motivator to like get to the good poem. But just a bit it's kind of like therapeutic. And if I hit the drumstick on my thigh, it hurts more, and it doesn't. It's like not sustainable for writing.
so like too much pain and you kind of distract yourself.
No, but it's like I can tell I'm gonna injure myself if I keep doing it. But like the bottom of my foot is tough enough that I can hit my foot.
Mm.
Yeah.
The tough Achilles heel. Mm.
Well, yeah. I think Achilles heel is a little bit further out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that fucking rocked. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
VR is that's a tool, definitely. I like that. That's great.
I did it last week. It was cool last week. It
It
was
was cool as hell.
oh my God.
Dick.
It looked because I casted it from the VR machine um into the Zoom call, but we're not doing it this week. So you'll have to wait around. Maybe you'll see it. I'm supposed to publish it. We'll see.
Dude,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
really like I want to see like someone publish your VR poetry, whether it's like a live recording of you like writing
Yeah.
and reading or twisting around like the 3D model words.
No, well, I figured out there's a stable way to do it. You could just there's like a couple different platforms, but I found a good platform for sharing a 3D model online, and you just basically do that, I think, and then maybe have a transcript. So you could just do that.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Well, we're
that'd
in
be
a
cute.
good
And
group of people
it's
that
a
know how to
gimmick.
do that.
It's cool. Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, it's actually it's funny because to talk more about process, like I don't think I'm not super confident in the text yet. Like I think that I took the text became way worse because I was just like I'm gonna get into different form
Mm.
and try different things, and then the text quality kind of dropped, and it's okay now, but it's like um, because I used to just be writing for hours, right? And now I'll just like take 10 minutes to do a VR thing, and then I have to take the mask off because it's too much, right?
Yeah, fucking
Okay,
A.
all right. Yeah. Fucking all right. Okay, let's move on.
All right, Peter, thank you so much for showing us the process, which, of course, in any creative space, community, even within oneself, never forget that when you are going through your writing, when you're struggling, just know that struggle is part of the process. Pain, reward, all of this, it's all about the little carrot on the stick that you chase. That in and of itself is part of the beauty of why we create art, why we write, why we kill ourselves to fucking try and reach people through screens, paper, what have you. God damn. Thank you, Peter. Okay, up next, a person who has been reading fucking since the beginning. I always love their work. It can be uh, on a scale of doom to sultry and everything in between. Their work can do it all. But this is Lisa Marie.
What an introduction. Thank you.
How you
Okay.
know?
So this this first poem, it's a recently rejected, and it's actually The person that inspired the poem was a relationship concurrent to my time as a mandatory reporter. So, just to set up the tone for this short poem, it's titled Calla Lilies. Calla lilies. You asked me my favorite flower, and I answered tulips. Why tulips? You pressed. I answered, because they signal springtime, rebirth after a cold winter. You grimaced. I continued, I'd like to visit the tulip fields in Holland and lay amongst the petals. You looked me in the eyes and said, Calla lilies are more beautiful. That's the end of that piece. Um, and I think I'll read. Um, I think this is the first thing I read on God Pussy, but there's only two people that have heard it before, I think, in this group. Altered States, which was inspired by the same person. Altered States. I disassociated in the shower and flooded the bathroom. Water crept out of 301 into the corridor and past the nurse's station. It earned me a move to a private suite, the isolation room. A single bed bolted to the floor at the center of an otherwise empty closet. Directly overhead, a blinding fluorescent light. It was as cold inside as the bleak winter outside the locked doors. I dressed my bed and covered myself from head to toe. The brittle blanket scraped against my bruised skin as I uneasily inhaled air scented with bleach and urine. There is no peace for the wicked. Isaiah 48:22. The witch doctor warned that my ancestors were angry. I immediately had my lover pay for the ritual cleanse. I could hear the drumming and see the sacrificial blood. My heart beat to the psychedelic rhythm of my fever dream. Visions of a decapitated chicken, seashells, and bones. I heard a rooster's crow and a knock and my name. Indeed, there is no peace for the wicked. Isaiah 48:22. The nurse took my dinner request for vegetarian and peppered me with questions when I asked for pain relievers. I revealed the purple stripes of hematoma across my bare chest. A 350-pound Brian wrangled and strapped me to a gurney when the Haldol would not suffice. Blackouts and black and blues. Turkey burger, orange juice, Risperdal and Ambien, but not a single Tylenol. Alas, there is no peace for the wicked. Isaiah 48:22. And that's it for tonight for me.
Some short, sweet Lisa Marie literature, some forceful, some beautiful. Man, I'm starting off with Springtime Flowers, which is only a few months away. And calla lily, I have not been aware of the calla lily before. So is that so I know so tulip you referenced being your favorite flower. So the calla lily also kind of it symbolizes rebirth. Yeah, and so I'm curious, you wrote this about a Time magazine reporter or editor?
No, he's a trained psychiatrist and
Ah,
philosopher.
I ain't trying to. I'm not trying to pry too hard now. But love it, love it. The other piece, I love that Bizarre is killing it in the chat here with the catching all of these great
Uh,
the tears in the flooded
Biz.
bathroom.
One other God Pussy poem is being published at the end of the month, January 30th. The dance
Yay,
poem,
love it.
567.
That's exciting. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
We're all happy that Taylor and Bizarre are getting Bizarre Publishing House to publish, some more pieces. I know that y'all both had to take a necessary break. Me and Kim with Cum Punk, we're taking kind of the winter to kind of get our own routines and schedules back. But hell yeah, no, we're that's awesome. And I, as a person who's never been in a hospital, but I was an inpatient and just having to have that reminder of being in a hospital bed, and then in the morning getting my medications or whatever, and having to hear my roommates like talk about like just the body ailments and whatever. Like, man, that imagery just took me back. Um, so you said you read this at what, like a God pussy,
I
like
read it at
mini,
God Pussy,
like,
but like it was like a year ago, right?
damn, okay. So was that like an experiential piece or just something where it was like a
No,
memory?
it's experiential. Like I wrote it maybe a year after the experience, and I performed it. Like I wrote it and I performed it at KGB that same week.
No shit. Okay, hell yeah,
And it
KG.
was like it was like one of the first weeks back from lockdown. So KGB
Oh.
was packed. And I was like, should I not? And like there was like all these like hopeful poems in February, all these love poems, and then it was like pinned up.
That's what you got to do, though, man. You got to stand out. Let everybody know, like, I've been through shit. Like, real life is hard. Like, you got to go back and kind of reset yourself, take care of this, because this is the most important fucking organ. Way more
Yeah,
important than this sometimes, but it's a constant fucking relationship challenge of like making sure you're mentally well, but, you know, keeping an open mind to what a kind of loose mind can lead you to, but sometimes you just end up in a place where you got to get help. But it's man, and this is such a weird time. My fucking coworker, this is so like my coworker just told me that one of their like fucking childhood friends died just mid shift. They were
yeah,
like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on break," and then they come back and they're like, "Wow, one of my friends from back in the day is dead." It's like, fuck me. Like you just never know when it's gonna happen. It's always so
yeah.
again, and it goes back to
But it's
like,
really common in the season too, like hospital
yes,
stays and like
yes.
deaths, accidents.
Hmm.
It's very concentrated in this time of year.
Right. My other coworker, his girlfriend, he was or she was trying to uh pursue like a study, like a path in funeral services, but she also
Mm.
was like, I kind of want to do crime scene investigation cleanup. And I was like, is there a lot of crime scene cleanup work in the wintertime? And she was like, oh, Christmas is the busiest day of the year because of all the people that kill themselves. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I was talking about doing that one point,
no shit.
but I didn't.
Dude, yeah, that sounds like in the moment you're like, oh, this could be, like, oh, it'll expand my mind and a new experience. But then first day, it's like, oh, there's a murder suicide of a family of, mother, father, and kid. That's what you got to clean up today. And you're like, wow, I don't know, man.
No, they wouldn't hire
Yeah.
me. They wouldn't hire me.
I would hope they would never hire me. I'm like, I'm a good worker, but like, I could not deal with that shit, man. No, it's a tough season, but Lisa Marie, I definitely enjoy these two pieces. The short poetry and the short structured pieces that you present. I mean, we've heard your long form with fiction and the love and the emotions and again, this word I'm going to use it, the sultry. It's always so great, but there's just something, a uni fuck me. I'm trying to be sincere, but I'm also trying not to use all these filler words that enter my brain. They're just so fuck. You know what I'm trying to say, Lisa Marie. They've got something that not a lot of people know how to do. Not a lot of people can really put that much emotion and feeling in such a short amount of time in these short pieces. So thank you for sharing this with us and for sharing yourself, for sharing your life. It's always just it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for the space.
Hey, anytime, anytime. I ain't doing shit on my Friday night. But no, I would much rather be doing this than anything. I don't know. I think back to all of the Friday nights that I had free because there was no open mic, and it was either pinball, jerking off, or jerking off, pinball, coming home, watching a movie. It was, sometimes fruitful, other times not. Um, but I hope to keep this going for as long as I can, as long as I can live and breathe and fucking get Wi-Fi because I'm currently my Wi-Fi is being a hotspot from my phone. So I do whatever I can, y'all. Anyways, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I'm fucking. Oh god, the sugar crash is happening. I need to eat more sugar. Anyways, up next, I just met this fella. It was a great time in California. We played pinball. We had Thai food. We watched a crazy dystopian movie, which I'm still reeling over the fact that what kind of a clusterfuck movie that was. But I reckon it is time to hear from Mr. Omar King.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How you doing, Colton? Are you doing good?
I am. I had a good day at work. I've got
Good.
candy that I'm eating on. I just had some tamales. I'm fucking golden.
Wow. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had some tamales and candy too. Which candy?
I've got
I don't mean to pry here. Twizzler, Swedish fish. Oh man, I love me some Swedish fish, but I don't know.
you see. I
It's
was
lethal for
trying. I
me.
love Sour Patch Kids, but my
Yes.
coworkers scared me. They were like, if you eat too much sour candy, it's gonna
Mhm.
erode your gums. So
Mhm.
no more
Yeah.
sour candy for me. I like my mouth and my teeth somewhat.
No, I know what you mean. I love to eat, but I really gotta be careful what I put in my mouth.
Amen.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be reading from Dingbats, if you don't mind me here.
Let's do
Sure,
it.
yeah. Uh, you know what? I wanted to read. This is a story. There's another story I was trying to think of reading, but I think I'm going to read Lester. If anybody knows Lester, that chapter from Dingbats. Yeah. All right then. I don't know if it shows the picture. Oh damn! Hold on. Wait. Yes.
There we go.
Lester. It was a Tuesday when Lester got a suite at the Hilton down the lane. 3 stars on account of cheap service from an onion-faced receptionist with a Cheshire grin saying, "Have a nice day," when it actually isn't a nice day, but just a nice way of saying, "Don't come on our pillows," to which Lester responded with an awkward grin, almost pathetic, in a way saying, "I have better and worse ways of toying with my splooge elsewhere, but thanks for the warning." Ah, yes, it was a Tuesday, all right. Lester drops his bags on the floor and makes his way to the window, peeking his eyes through the dirty glass. He expected to see a view of the mountains and the trees and the waves of the river ahead, but there wasn't any, but the view of a hotel building across the street. What he can see from his window is a silver and gold and green building with a neon sign with cursive lettering saying "The Emerald Palace," towering over the river and the mountains. Lester wonders if Dorothy frequents there every now and again. She probably she probably does. Hell, she probably is being gangbanged by the Scarecrow, the Tinman, and the Cowardly Lion as we speak. And now that mangy little peeping Tom Toto's having a good old time watching from the comfort of his emerald pillow cushion. What a sight indeed, indeed. Lester only has an hour by himself until he's called to go to the dining hall for the group therapy he has to endure. A lady with the candy corn glasses, probably the coordinator, told him through the telephone that a specialist wants to see Lester and wants to get to know him so he's able to feel comfortable to go over his therapy. Lester is a very melancholic person. Melancholic that he's got to fly to be in a room filled with angry, sad, lonely, sick, depraved, neurotic people such as himself and sit with him and talk about his problems. The lady thinks that group therapy might help Lester loosen up and get things off his chest. He's been acting funny lately at work concerning his coworkers. He's been drinking a lot lately, way too much. An addict, if you will. He's been a drunken mess at work, slurring his words and becoming aggressive towards his coworkers, especially Chad, who he despises very much. He thinks Chad should burn in hell and give the devil a handy. I guess you want me to cry, yeah? Well, I don't have it in me to cry like a bitch. I'm no mimsy bitch to cry my grievances on your shoulders. I'm just here because I have to be here. Hell, I didn't even want to come here at all, let alone sit with all you people. But you're here now, Lester. It would be nice for you to open up to us and tell us why you're here. What is your journey, brother? Don't be shy to confess it. Journey? Yes. We're here to hear you out. We won't judge. Well, where do I start with this journey you speak of? For starters, there is no journey. I have no life of my own. I work a 9-to-5 job at some office joint, sitting in a little cubicle, filing paperwork, faxing or printing the whole 9 yards. It's a piece of shit job that pays well, I suppose. The people there suck. Nothing but hollow and selfish, vain pieces of shite. I ain't no saint either. It takes one piece of shit to know one. I don't attend church, so don't convince me of going, because I ain't going. Why do I have to go to some building when the good Lord is everywhere? Sometimes I want to bash their skull in with a sledgehammer and jump off the building and end my life there. But I'm just wishfully thinking. I think it's sick. The job? No. I think this is sick. To make someone go and pour their hearts out and say things they don't want to. Just because folks are a little different doesn't make them weird or concerned to society. I see it all the time. I play a part of it as well. They talk about their virtues but never live up to their values. There's a difference between virtues and values. With virtues, the problem, the situation, if you will, is talked about, bitched about, cried about. But with values, it's living up to it. I don't live up to it. I will admit to it. But hey, at least I'm frank about it. But why exactly are you here, Lester? I guess I'm here because I drink too much, way too much. And that's a problem for me and for the people in my life, my coworkers, my elderly mother, and my relatives. I drink because I want to. I like the thrill of it. It keeps me going and going and going until I go blotto. And I have to sit in a room and pour my heart out to people like you. And I know when I go back to my room, I will feel numb. And I'd have the TV on playing a PBS program while I stand by the door and let the noise drown the awful silence. And then I have to go back to bed and then wake up, go to work where the awful silence and the paperwork, the fax machine, and the sheer boredom awaits me. And there'll be a point where I overhear Chad in the break room and listen to him chat to his buddies and how he got to sleep with some gal from the front desk and goes on with the details while I eat my sandwich. And listen, I get up and leave and stand by the doorway and feel disgusted about the whole thing. And then he would go on about how he slipped his cock in her mouth and played with her breasts and how much he enjoyed the thrill of it. And I'd listen to it and imagine myself watching her eat his pecker and fuck. He will leave her lying on the bed, naked, of course, and go to the bathroom, take a piss or shower. The hell I care. And I watch this girl slipping her fingers between her breasts, circling it as she feels it swelling up, all while staring at the ceiling, not knowing that I'm watching her from the closet, debating if I should go into the bathroom and slit Chad's throat with a razor or choke the woman to death. But that's all in my head, wishfully thinking, not really living up to those thoughts. I know it ain't gonna happen, and I know when this is over, I will go home, come back to my loneliness like clockwork. Go to bed, wake up for work, go to bed, wake up for work. I guess if I have to say it. Now, don't hesitate here now, Lester, please. We ain't gonna judge you. Please tell us. Don't hold back on us. I suppose if I have to say it, then so be it. I do have a problem. Now that was Lester. What? Oh boy. Ew,
Wow.
jeepers. Yeah.
I love
Excuse me.
with this piece. It was a great picture in my head. I'm glad you went after Lisa Marie because Lisa introduced this like very fervent,
Mhm.
passionate, subtle intensity with the neurotic. Um, uh, and you come in with this like narrative of the neurotic. And me, I love neurotic people. I tend to
Right.
get along a lot better with people that tell me like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I have an issue with, or I have a past issues with such and such,
Mhm.
with addiction, or with
Right.
unusual behaviors, or stigmas, or I've been canceled, et cetera, et cetera."
Okie
And
dokie.
this is just a great. I mean, I know this person. I've had this conversation with a person, and
Mhm.
this is just such a relatable character. But in the way you write out the way this person is just so aware of every conversation that they're gonna have, and they're like, and this is what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna drink, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna think about this, and just you capture
Mhm.
the neurotic in such a great way with with your work, and it's damn fucking Lester, man.
Yeah.
We all know a Lester. We all know a Lester.
I I know what you mean. I know Lester too. Hell, I'm a Lester myself in a way, although I don't drink like that. But I feel it in my bones, in my arteries, my bones, the nerves, every fiber of my. I know this guy. I know him so well. I know him. I know him where he goes. I know where he goes to work and where he takes his lunch, where he goes gets his pizza. I know him. I know him, and I want to say something inspiring, but I don't think there's anything inspiring. I think I don't know. I don't like to get into that cheesy stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because been there, done that, and all I can say about this guy is I hope he gets his life together, shit together, just like I myself. I hope I get my life together in a way.
Mhm.
You know, it's like a wake up call, if you will. It's my way of a wake up call with this story. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think when I look back at my work, there
Mhm.
were definitely ways in which I was writing to almost kind of give myself a wake up call by showing, kind of opening up myself to say like, this is when things fuck up and go wrong. But with
Mhm.
this, the way you set it up of kind of like you almost as a reader, you're like, I don't want to be this guy, but I want to be in the same room. And like you
Mhm.
introduce the voyeurism there when he like
Right.
listens to
Right.
his coworker talk about, the sex and like we all want to be a voyeur to another person's experiences because we don't like seeing it happen or in real time, you get to such a different kind of perspective, but that perspective is helpful. It's
Mhm.
very, it can educate you and keep you aware without you actually going through it.
Mhm.
And none of us really want to go through it as much as, everybody says like, oh, experience is the way to write.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you don't have to go through it. Like if it's
Right.
really, really, really bad,
Exactly.
because it can, traumatize you. You can
Mhm.
suffer from incredible PTSD. Other times your creativity will completely like pause and halt. But
Fatigue you.
yes, yes, the fatigue. Um, And I know plenty of people like through the pandemic where their creativity faltered, where people in their life they passed away and they had to take a break, or they lost a friend, they lost a lover, they let substance kind of take them away from their art, and it's tragic. And you were able to
Yeah.
capture that tragedy in such a very like relatable way. And fucking A, man, fucking dingbats.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't like to, I don't. Hell, I might as well toot my own horn and wave my flag around like this. But come
Yeah.
on.
Should feel very, very proud of
Thank
your work and the fact that this book is published with New Ritual.
you.
Yes, New Ritual
Yeah.
Press, which they are. I'm excited for their lineup of books that are coming out. But the fact that you were their first book, right?
hmm I'm the first one.
Excellent. And
It's so funny though. It's so weird. Ugh.
gotta feel
What's
weird.
yeah?
It's gotta feel weird.
It does feel odd because I remember this was supposed to be self-published. I was going to do it self-published. I'll do it myself, but then I remember Evan wanted to talk to me and with Matthew, and they said, well, basically told. I'm paraphrasing here. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. We don't mind helping you. Would love to help you. And then they had this idea, so it was sort of a perfect bow. I had the idea of self-publishing, and they had their idea of doing their thing. And so New Ritual Press wasn't always New Ritual Press. I always say this because we had different names. We were trying to come up with different names. One, I remember I gave them Dog Bites, but it didn't work well. That would have been a fun name for that New Ritual Press, Dog Bites Press or something. That'd been for, but I don't know if they had that already. But I think it's fitting now, in retrospect, it's very fitting. The name New Ritual. It is a ritual. It's very new, indeed.
Yep. It's the
But yeah,
perfect.
it's quite an adventure we had.
It's a great
Homegrown.
adventure. And I
Yeah.
am, and you're right. There's nothing wrong with self-publishing, but I think it's just so helpful and it does something to your confidence when somebody
Mhm.
else is like, "Hey, we want to help you make this project come alive."
Yeah.
And it's almost like you want to go back and you want to like, "Oh, I want to make this so much better," because
Mhm.
in a way with self-publishing, you are your own editor, publisher, writer, and so on and so on. And so you kind of settle into like this is what I'm comfortable sending out. But when another person is kind of creating and getting the work going, you're like, well, no, let's make it flashier. Let's fucking go crazy with it. But you were still able to hone your craft and to hone in your style here.
Yeah.
And just the way you read it, I feel like I would understand it if I were to read it as well,
Mhm.
the way you presented it, and you
Right.
presented it so well.
Well, thank you. Another thing. I always I don't like to give away secrets, but I don't care. I improvise some of the because I do these readings once live in person. I do these readings and sometimes I improvise. So in the last part when I read Lester, that last part, that was all improvised because I just know it so well. And I thought, well, be fun addition. I don't really get so because I've been to these readings. I kid you not, go to these readings and they read it like right straight right off the page, automatically, right off the page, if that makes sense. Sort of,
Yeah.
um, I'm trying to almost like a a robot, but like a robot. So we like an instruction manual, if you will. But I don't say it to be mean or judgmental. Believe you and me, I've already experienced that before. I've
Mhm.
already been there, done that. But so what I've done and I mean, take notes here or don't, I don't know, but just really improvise with your work because it's still it's kind of almost like a script. And I like to see it like such as a script. And I know the words are there, and then you can just add in from your mind and have fun with it. do what you will, basically.
Insert your own insanity and know that
Insert
you
your
can
own
create the experience. You can lift those words off the fucking page and throw it
Right.
out to the crowd. I love it. Yeah, no, I completely agree, Omar. And I think with that mindset, that is why you have a great stage presence. That is why, you know, with your literature and your poetry and your prose, it's going to go far because you have this creative, improvised drive that is just, it's going to fucking keep going.
Yeah. Oh boy. I got to keep on going. I get this year's going to be really busy for me. I kid you not.
Well, that's why maybe you need an assistant.
I wish I had an assistant, man. With all I got so much in the vault, I'm telling you, 2026, 2027, with Dingbats 2, and then I have this other novella. I wrote that back in 2021, but that's been unearthed, and that it wants to be like because I'm adding, so I add a story from that one into Dingbats 2. So I told Evan I would like to turn it into a spin-off, since if it you wanted, we had these conversations before, but sort of having this all planned out chronologically in a way, almost like an American Horror Story, if you will, but it's an anthology.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, God, talk
Right.
about American Horror Story.
One day at a time, brother. One day at a time.
Yeah, but oh boy, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And this is so fun. I really have the most fun on here when I go to these other readings, and I kid you not, it's always it's always excuse me, it's always this sort of drudgery, if you will. And I don't mean, like I said, I've been there, done that. It just has this feeling of drudgery. Always like, what are you doing here? Like you're going to a after school conference or something. You know what I mean? Sort of like if you're going to a mandatory one of
Like
those
one of those school
mandatory
assembly meetings where it's
yeah,
just one teacher after another teacher and the principal and here's the news for the day. The school
yeah,
lunch is gonna be, and you're like, you're not. It's
yeah,
you can't even be excited to read your work. Like, don't go to the fucking open mic. You
right.
gotta love yourself. You gotta love your work. You don't have to do both, but you gotta do one, and then we can feel it. We can sense that you're a human. That the words you wrote came from a person that has this unique backstory. That what we're about to hear is gonna fucking excite us, or scare us, or shock us, or be
Oh,
extreme. Something. Fucking A.
yeah.
It's yeah, no, I that's why I do this because I've been to open mics in Memphis, and while I appreciate the talent that is so
Mhm.
clear,
Right.
at times I am like, man, I know that people are holding back, and there's this
Mhm.
nervousness, there's this fear. People, there tends to be in these open mics that sometimes are family friendly, other times it's kind of you're trying to appease the open space of the
Right.
artistic space of wherever you're
Mhm.
at. People hold back. They're not willing to really just fucking go there because
Right.
there's a hesitancy of, are
Mhm.
people going to judge me? Are people going to talk and say like, oh, this guy did this with his reading and with his pieces, and they're
Oh,
talking about so and so, and it's like, who fucking cares? Thank God someone's being weird. Thank God someone's being fucking weird or crazy or ridiculous or offensive or shocking. Like, motherfuck, like we've gone through so much neutering of art that like holy fuck, can 2026 provide art that just fucking tries? That's like
Mhm.
actually like blood on the paper, blood, sweat, tears, jizz, cum, splooge on a pillow. Fuck me. Golly. Uh, Omar, and man, so many great moments that we got to share in California with him, and I'm seriously like the second I got on a plane to come back, I was like, fuck, I really hope Kim can get to LA, and then hopefully I can
Please.
follow Kim, and then hopefully we can do it all over again.
Yes, please. Oh God, please come back because February, I'm having the anniversary party. Oh
Yeah.
man. So it's going to be at a friend's house, and well, it's usually always somebody's house, but I like it this way because you don't have to. I've been, like I said, I've been to these things, and it's always an institution, which I understand that. But and I believe you and me, I've gotten to the point what I've called and emailed that always leave me in limbo. So I thought, well, I'll just do it and set it up with my friends and stuff. So I'm doing that to celebrate this over this monstrosity, this God, this freak of nature that is an odyssey of dingbats. And my God, it became a life of its own. When I tell you, when it took off on Soft White Underbelly, I couldn't believe the enormous comments, the enormous sort of the response it just the way I don't know I was loss of words.
Loss of
I was
words.
at loss of words because I just thought, okay, I didn't think I was going to be on Soft White Underbelly. To be frank with you, I just did it because my associate told me to go on there, because to email the individual and send in that 30-second video, and that's it. And I didn't think much of it, so I did it. And whole and behold, he just called me about a couple of days after, during my lunch break. He calls me and adamantly wants me. He's got a studio in Santa Monica, so and wants me to go down to Santa Monica and see him. And we've had this repertoire, if you will, and that I appreciate. I appreciate for having guts, and I appreciate myself for daring my just say, hey, what the hell, just do it, and I if you're that brave and gutsy, go on ahead and do it. It doesn't matter. And I'm glad I did it. And I don't mean to sound like I said, cheesy, corny, sappy. So be it. If I'm corny, sappy, whatever. Give me some pancakes. uh, but you got to appreciate yourself in that way because ain't nobody's going to do it but you. And we all know that for sure, without a doubt. So I think that and so many things that we're now down to about 1,500 cells. So that is a phenomenon, if you will.
Hell yeah. And one thing my boss told me today is, man, no matter what you're going through, give yourself some motherfucking slack.
Yes.
All all use it.
Mm-hmm. You got this, and you got this,
Yeah.
and I know you got this. If they don't believe in yourself, and I believe in you as well, I know you can do it.
Fuck,
I
Omar.
know that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Omar. We could go on
Well,
and on and on.
yeah.
Seriously, thank you so much for reading, for your wisdom, for sharing your journry and your stories, and we're all rooting for you. Just know
Thank
that we're
you.
all rooting for you.
Thank you,
We're,
I appreciate that. Oh God, thank you, man.
yeah.
I wish they did it. I wish I had the same feeling down here at home, but I appreciate it here.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Omar. All right. So up next is a person who has been lively in the chat, a bizarre person, but certainly not bizarre in a bad way at all. A person who evokes God pussy, but also evokes humanity and good feeling and a gentle soul. And also, yes, I did see the Hannah Montana video you showed on Twitter today, and that's fucking hilarious. That was fucking. I was like, is this real? Is this real as shit? Anyways, Bizarre Miscreant coming up to the mic.
Oh, thank you so much. What a glowing intro. I'm so happy you saw the video too. I watched that, but I watched it like 10 times. But anyway, so obviously I haven't been hosting my open mic and my writing has been kind of like sporadic these days just because I have like so much IRL stuff going on. But I have been journaling like very consistently every single day and filling up this journal. I am like so close to the end. So I figured I could maybe just read a few of these entries for you all. Um, yeah, and they don't have titles, so I think I'll just like read them all without breaks. We'll see how it goes. All right. So I think I'll start here. Vietnamese burrito. Rainy, hot day on a holiday. Traditions and celebrations of a year in the books and for a new year to come. Chinese zodiac calendar. The full moon on a foggy night. Korean pancakes. I can feel my ribs through the skin on my back again. I'm going to write my New Year's resolutions in the journal that I'm going to use in the new year, not here. Finally, a place to keep safe all of my little keepsakes. Life is a collage, a memory, a human, a being. The self is a projected collage. Mochi end of year cheer. I am getting so close to the end of this journal. Warbling noises. A notification from messages. These lines draw themselves. I'm just connecting the dots. These words write themselves. I'm just placing the ink. All right, I guess I will have breaks. So that was the first one. The next one that I'll read, a little bit of a different tone. Thank you for the applause. So here's the next one. How did we get here? I used to know you so well. Used to call yourself a dreamer, but now all that surrounds you are the nightmares you keep. I can tell that I'm just another villain in your story now. I'm sorry. I know you're trying, but no longer can you see me. I know you're trying. You let me into your heart and I scratched you. But can't you see that I was scratching back? I allowed myself to be your doll, but didn't think you'd tire of playing with me so quickly. Maybe I should have noticed certain things earlier on, like how you speak of those who have hurt you, how you'll abandon those who you love. Who are you now? Will you ever remember why you fell in love with me? You wanted me to be human. So watch me. All right. And then the next one that I will read, I think this will be the last one. Yeah. So one final journal entry for you guys. I don't know what to say, but I'll say it anyway. The music from the era of which you were born is full of rhythm and mystery, romance and conquest, celebration of the future, a dance party. Avicii is dead, and I think about him all the time. Why must we suffer so? 2026 will be a year of growth and abundance. Universal year one, ruled by the sun. Altering the present may actually change the past, as quantum research suggests. I gather a signature of moments of my story, hold a certain version of reality in my hands, quantum signatures. Maybe I can be my own monolith, assembling myself through the past. First page connected to the last. Microplastics connected to the stories of the T-Rex. Like 5D chess, what does my future self need to happen next? And that's it. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Colton, for letting me read.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? You end Media Agnostic Doom journaling with journals from your journal. Fucking awesome.
Hell
Such a
yeah.
great, awesome. Fuck. Okay, so Lisa's journaling, you're journaling, motherfucker. I need to start journaling. Like this is signs, man. But I no, Biz, I'm glad that you talked about when life comes at you IRL. I know that you're probably, whether it's school or your job or, your personal relationships. For me, it was this new job that I have, and I work in a kitchen, and so it's rigorous, And recently, like I get off work, I lay in bed, I eat my candy, my snacks, and I try to write, and it's so tough because like right now I'm upright in my chair, I'm at my desk, even though my desk is like surrounded by like y'all's books and shit, and like candy and like a National Geographic documentary on fatal insomnia that I haven't even gotten out of the box yet, but like you just get so piled up with ideas, with media. You want to try and watch the movies that you want to watch, read the books that you want to read, and then you kind of like get distracted from what you actually want to write. But with your journals, they explore kind of, it's almost like this recap of like, okay, you know what? Even if I can't write something that, you know, acts as prose or acts as narrative or whatever, it's great to reflect. It's great to get back to understanding yourself, your life, yourself through your life, life through yourself, back and forth. I love the idea of, assembling the self, life as a collage, and especially with my work, when I initially started writing my poetry, I kept telling people it's like a collage. It's a collage that is media agnostic. It's, you know, music, art, experience, memories, quotes, shit that I would see written on bathroom. It was a mix of everything. And so these journals are just so like raw. They're very like drafty, not like windy, but like they're so, you just in the moment and you don't think about it. It's just drafts of a draft of a draft, bare bones, structural, and it's so potent. You can really get a lot out of them to just get you through from one day to the next, to the next, to the next. But man, super fucking proud of what you've done, you and Taylor, with Bizarre Publishing, the creatives that you've brought into this space, and with yourself, like with Taylor's publications and your publications. It's you've got to just like with Omar, you got to be fucking proud of yourself, man. Like you've done so much, and with these journalings, every so often just write, I've done a lot of cool shit. So now I can take a little fucking break and just take care of myself because, like, I can, doesn't matter if we've just met or not. I can look at everybody in this fucking room, all the participants here. Like, all of y'all have done some great shit. All of y'all, I've read your work, and it would be foolish for y'all to stop. But if you do, I totally understand. But just know what you've done is enough. It's fucking good. Damn, Bizarre, you got me preaching over here. God fucking bless.
Preach, preach. I just wanted to say I so appreciate the way that you relate to this collage art style. Like, I think that was one of the first things that drew me to your art at MLC is I was like, oh my gosh, it's just random stuff like just thrown in there. And it like validated the way that I write sometimes because I felt like it wasn't complete, it wasn't cohesive, so it wasn't like legit. And then to hear you and others at MLC who write, kind of similarly, I was like, oh, that is like an actual style. So leaning in and like you said too, it's just so raw in the journals. It's so in real time, raw, like there's tears on the page, like leaving little stains, and honestly, it kind of resets me as a writer sometimes because I can get so lost in the sauce, like, doing transmedia stuff, tons
Real.
of, different mediums. And so it's just like, yeah. So thank you for hosting this space. Thank you for like just providing space for journaling specifically. I would encourage others to journal, even if you feel like you can't do anything, can't write, like open a page and like just scribble on it and see where it takes you. So thank you again, Colton, and everyone has been so amazing tonight.
Dude, hell yeah. Of course. Thank you so much for joining, for signing up. I know that last time we had our open mic, it turned into like a study hall, But I don't know. I like that too, where, this space is just for people to just feel comfortable, to be creative. Like there is, like I used to go, and I might go back, but there was a writing group that met at a library near me, actually where my parents live. And it was a fun writing group until it got to a point where it was no erotica, no intense violence or anything like that. It was too safe. And I was like, damn, I can't share my work because, like, bro, I'm writing about John Wayne Gacy over here and the BTK killer and like all this crazy shit. So that's why this space right here is for not only people to push boundaries, but to feel comfortable rediscovering, like, why do I write? Why am I doing this? Like, this is, media agnostic doom journaling is to go through these periods of like, ecstasy and inspiration going up, and then the come down of like, okay, real life is setting in. Where the fuck do I go? Because it's the natural trajectory of every creative is you're gonna have those dips where you come back down and you look at your work and you look at yourself and you don't know where to go. But other people will help you. Presses will come out and they will like your shit. It is just I'm constantly just impressed with the people that are coming up with these new places to publish work, and they'll reach out. Like I'm impressed that Zach Smith was able to collect some of y'all's work to publish in his Christmas zine. That Bizarre Publishing House was able to publish some of y'all. That Omar was discovered for my new ritual. That JL Moultrie is getting published, and so on. Some of us have been interviewed by Tyler, and a lot of us have, are blessed to read Alex and Derek, and we've got Rudy's work, and we've seen Lisa published by Hobart, and just et cetera, et cetera. Like we've all got our fucking shit. And one of these days, we're all going to see Peter Webb's name up in lights, VR poet of the fucking century. Fucking A. There's no telling. The sky's the fucking limit. Well, shit. I think that I have a little piece, but no, Bizarre, thank you so much for reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We were just talking about God Pussy. If it comes back, we would love to go back because I could do like Shot Chaser, do MADJ on Friday, God Pussy on Saturday, keep the weekend going, and on Sunday
Oh my God, yes.
that'd be
Yeah, let's
great.
do it.
Insane. Yes, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it will be back. So yeah, let's do it. Make it
Yay!
happen.
Confirmed live. Awesome. Uh, I'm gonna end the reading now, unless if anybody else wants to. Let me check the chat. If anybody wants to speak out, whoever wants to read, speak now. I'm about to read a little piece that I wrote. Um, it's at the end of a project that I'm working on, and I was listening to. So a lot of my work recently has been inspired by the Beatles, and I listened to this song when I was driving back home from Nashville. I think it was like a pinball tournament or something, probably. And it's Good Night. It is one of the few songs where Ringo sings, and I think it is beautiful. And so I looked it up on YouTube and I just started reading the comments, and there is no better understanding of humanity than reading YouTube comments, for better or for worse. They've gotten a lot better because back in the day, it used to be God is not real. Also, Hitler wasn't a bad guy. So like we've progressed. We've progressed. A lot of the usernames are interesting. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is like a real person or not, but I doubt there are many bots on YouTube, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyways, this is a poem where I linked the YouTube comment or the YouTube video of Good Night by the Beatles, and I just copy and pasted comments, tagging all of the usernames, but just the stories that they elicited. So this is Good Night by the Beatles. At Collie1228. My dog, Bob the Beagle, was lying on the floor of his vet's office on a blanket, taking his last breaths. I was in great pain over losing him, my best friend, and I told him, good night, sleep tight, as the vet gave him that last injection that would end his pain. A couple days later, I was driving my Miata on a country road with the music blaring when the Beatles' Good Night came on the radio. I had to pull over before I crashed. That song made me cry for my friend, and since then, I can't hear it without tearing up, and it's been nearly 5 years now. Love this song and miss my dog. At Stephen King, Stephen with a V, Stephen King 6537. I opened my dad's browser for the first time since he died of lung cancer over a year ago, and this was his last search. Miss him every day. X. At XIRO, Zero Pegado. We all yearn to be back with our parents when we were children. I'm in my early 60s, but I miss my long deceased parents and their love. At the Enderman 917. This song means a lot to me. I'm 13, and my dad used to sing this to me when I was little. He's okay, by the way. Not dead or anything. Our relationship has just gone south over the years, and I miss the good old days, man. This song honestly gets me every time. At EUSOU 526. I don't know why, but when I listen to this song, I remember my grandma when she was dying, quietly. It was sad, but she was 92 and finally slept. After a long and so beautiful life, rest in peace, my grandma. I love you, always. See you someday, my dear. At Dennis Thayer 4913. This is the first time I've listened to this song since my wife passed away a year and a half ago. Now I can't stop crying. At Elifabri 2108. Good night, my sweet beloved daughter Valentina, 2013, December 24th, 2022. I will live the rest of my life hoping to see you again. At Jess Amya Bixer. My dad used to sing me this song every night before bed. I've never heard the actual song before tonight, but I miss him so much I looked it up. He passed in 2020. At James Cecil 3563. I cry. I can smell their little heads. How many times did I tuck my babies in singing this? At OG Crazy Lizard. I hope my last memory is not of all the pain, but that fantasy I was accused of weaving, holding you and you me. All right. And that's it. Yeah, fucking A. These are sad as fuck comments. If you haven't listened to that song, it's beautiful. I'm gonna post the YouTube link into the chat. It is one of those songs that I would just continuously, when I was writing, listen to it. Like if I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm really feeling the emotion in this piece, I listen to that song and then I'd like, oh, fuck. Okay, all right. Like I'm back. Like I can feel things. I'm not a robot. But yeah, I love the Beatles. It took me a while to really like to mature and to just really understand the Beatles for what they did for music and for poetry and for creativity. But yeah, uh, this has been Morgenrede with Media Agnostic Doom Journaling. Thank you, JL Moultrie, Rudy, Bizarre, Peter, Omar, um, fuck, who else? Lisa Marie. Thank y'all to all the other guests here, Derek, Alex, Keith, and Mr. Zoris and Taylor. Uh, y'all have been great. Yeah. Goodbye and good night.